Hey guys, this is Mac again with another episode of Lock and Load. It's actually episode 2, and today we're talking about my absolute favorite AR-15 rifle, the Mark 18. Today I just want to talk a little bit about the history of the Mark 18 and also this particular version of the Mark 18, which is a little bit more customized version. So the Mark 18 was the product of the Navy and the SOP mod system around 1999 to 2000. And the goal of the whole program was to find a rifle that was a bit shorter for close quarters combat applications, with a shorter barrel, which was a little bit more maneuverable in tight situations, but also had the knockdown power of a rifle versus the limited range and power of handguns, thus the Mark 18. So originally the CQBR, which stands for Close Quarter Combat Receiver program, came out of the SOP mod program, and what they did was they took full-length Colt M4 rifles and shortened the barrels to 10.3 inches like the one that you see here. Actually that sort of offsprang into the Mark 18 program to where rifles were produced in mass for our military with 10-inch barrels. So now you will typically find receivers made by Colt and LMT in use with various divisions of the military. And as I said, this is my absolute favorite rifle to shoot. It's so fun, and just wanted to go over a little bit of the parts that make up the close quarters combat receiver, or the Mark 18, and the iteration of it here that you see. Now originally the Mark 18 lower receiver was just a standard M4 select fire lower receiver, just like you would find on any military issue combat weapon. The Mark 18 actually calls for a SOP mod stock, which is a very rugged and in my opinion heavy stock, which is mass produced locally here by LMT, and also now there are some other companies like B5 which are producing a little bit more cost-effective versions. Now I actually, for this rifle, prefer this Magpul CTR stock. Number one, because it's my favorite stock. It's very light, it's very rugged, and it works very well. And on this rifle I think it works better because this is a very lightweight rifle. But if you were to try to produce an exact replica or an exact clone of a Mark 18, you'd want to go with the SOP mod stock. Next, the build protocol calls for a sling mount. As you see, I don't run one here on this. There is a quick detach sling mount here, but I seldom, if ever, use it. I actually usually sling the back of the rifle here so that the rifle hangs, because I don't really use single point slings. I prefer a 2-point sling. Moving forward on the rifle, you can see that this particular upper receiver made by Daniel Defense has a 1913 Picatinny railed upper receiver. Originally the Colt variants issued to the military had standard A2 sights on the top of the upper receiver, and those were sometimes chopped down, which is what gives the inspiration for the LMT rear sight, which is essentially just a chopped down carry handle sight. You can see I prefer here on this rifle fold down backup iron sights. So these are made by Troy. They're very good, they're very dependable, and they stow really easily so that you can use your red dot optic. Now for red dot optics, original MK18s were usually issued with Aimpoint M2 red dot sight, or otherwise known as the M68 sight. Here you see an Aimpoint H1 in a 2 MOA dot, which is, in my opinion, preferable to the large, bulky M2 or M3 Aimpoint sights. Aimpoint makes very, very high quality red dot sights, and the Micro, I think, is really the flagship of the line. Only weighs about 5 to 6 ounces, and it's very, very dependable. So red dot sights have always been a big part of the Mark 18. Now for the rail system, originally you saw these come with Knight's Armament quad rails. Actually now Daniel Defense has a contract with the military to produce this rail interface system, or RIS. This is the 9.5-inch version, which is standard issue on Mark 18s in a flat dark earth color. It also comes in black, but a really high quality rail. If I had to have one gripe about it, it's that it's a little bit tedious to install, and it's also a bit heavy compared to some of the newer modular rails or even key mod rails. But it's an excellent, very rugged 4-rail system that you can depend on, and it's not going to let you down. It's free floating as well, so you're going to be able to wring out the maximum amount of accuracy out of this rifle that you can get using this free float rail system. Now the barrel system itself, if you are looking at some of the earlier versions, and then also now the Daniel Defense offering of this rifle, comes in 10.3 inches. LMT offers it in a 10.5 inch barrel. And these sizes are used because, number one, they're very short, they're compact, they're light, and also they are about as short as you can go and have ultimate reliability with your gas system. So in order to make the gas system on this rifle work as well as possible, the gas port had to be opened up to 0.07 inches because there's a very short dwell time past the gas port. It uses a carbine length gas system with only about 1 to 2 inches of dwell time past the gas port. So in order to function properly, gas port is called for an open size of 0.07 inches, and also depending on what type of ammo you're using, it may call for a different buffer here in the stock. So typically H buffers will run a wide variety of ammo in this system, but you may have to also consider going up to H2 or H3 buffers. Also on the original Mark 18, you won't see it on this rail on this rifle, but there was a light mount and also a high quality flashlight which was integrated into the rifle system. Now, typically the flashlight supplied with the rifle system would usually be made by Surefire. Another benefit of having the quad rail system, it also allows attachment of things like vertical foregrips, which are common in Mark 18s, and also infrared illuminators. Now finally, there were some minor changes that were specified in the bolt carrier group. The gas rings were different. Instead of the typical 3-ring system that you would see on many AR-15s, there's a single ring gas system, and also a different extractor spring and O-ring around the extractor, just to aid the gas system, which is much shorter in this rifle, in reliability. Now that's a quick overview of the Mark 18 rifle, how it was developed, and a little short history of it. This particular version of it, like I said, it's not a true clone. This is just sort of a Daniel Defense version of the Mark 18 with some different optics and different stock. So this is a production piece by Daniel Defense, a high quality maker of AR-15 rifles, which is in my home state here of Georgia. The Mark 18 comes as a standard package, or you can buy it as an upper receiver group. 10.3 inch barrel, 1 in 7 twist. Very accurate for, at least this rifle anyway, for the size of the barrel. I can reliably hit targets out to 300 and 400 yards with just a red dot with this rifle using ball 55 grain factory ammo. So it impresses me a lot with this particular system, and how light it is, how well you can maneuver it, and how reliable and accurate it is for a short barrel rifle. As you can see here on the end of the muzzle, it does carry a Battle Comp 1.0 muzzle device, which in an SBR is a little bit obnoxious sometimes. There's a lot of concussion and it's pretty loud, but it really works well with this gas system to make this a really flat shooting rifle. It's really fun to shoot, and it's really flat so that you can shoot accurately and pretty quick for follow-up shots. There's also a BCM Viltor Gunfighter Mod 4 charging handle on here, which I think is a vital upgrade to almost any AR-15 rifle because it's just really the best charging handle that you can get on the market, hands down, no questions asked, and in my opinion should be on every AR-15 rifle. So that is a quick review of the Mark 18. This particular rifle, the Daniel Defense Mark 18, I think is as good of a version of this rifle as you can find. Like I said, you can find other versions from LMT and Colt, who are the military suppliers of the Mark 18 in the complete rifle package. Daniel Defense does participate in supplying the military with the rapid or rail interface system here that you find on this Daniel Defense rifle. I think it's a great rail and I think it's a great rifle. So thanks for checking out this version of Lock and Load on the Mark 18 rifle. If you like videos like this, please subscribe to my channel, and as always, please click the like button for me, where you're going to get videos about great equipment like this on a weekly basis. So once again, this is Mac. Thanks for checking in. Be safe, and I'll see you next time.